Good morning and good evening to every one of you. Guys, today we are going to have a demo session on SAP Ariba. Just a quick introduction from our end. Okay, we are into SAP Ariba trainings and all SAP training since more than 10 to 15 years. Okay, so we have exclusive training in SAP Ariba, which we have started back in 2016 onwards. So far, we have covered. We have trained almost 5,000 plus participants in SAP Ariba. Our methodology over here is we are going to teach each and everything. We are going to go in depth in SAP Ariba training, okay, with proper scenario based and also the relevant hands-on with project scenarios we are going to cover. We have Manoj with us. He's having more than 16 years of experience. He's a solution architect in SAP Ariba. He'll be taking care of your trainings going forward. So guys, today we are going to see like what are the features of Ariba and how the Ariba is going to be helpful for everyone's career, because every one of you are coming from different backgrounds. So some of you are SAP consultants, some of you are procurement consultants, some of you are very new to the things. So considering all the participants here, we are going to go deep dive into SAP Ariba features and how it's going to be relevant for you and your career as well. Yeah. Okay, Manoj sir, can you just take up the things? I'll make you presenter so that you can share your screen also. And guys, I request every one of you to be very interactive in the sessions. You ask as many questions as you want. We are here to answer all of your questions. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Iraj. So, hi team. Good evening and good morning. As Iraj said, I've been. One second, let me share my screen. So, I've been into this SAP industry from past 16 years, and I've been working as a consultant. I've started my career as a custom administrator and consultant and senior consultant, then become a SME, and finally, presently, I'm working as a project manager in one of Tier 1 organization. And in the part time I'm sharing my knowledge to the persons who wanted to uh, step into the SAP career specific to Ariba. So um, I just wanted to know everyone's about your work background in short. So I'll start from Vasantam. Hey, hi Vasantam.
Hi, sir. Good evening. Hi, all.
Hi, hi. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I am from Coimbatore.
Okay.
I am working as a facility manager in a reputed company in Coimbatore.
Mm-hmm.
I have
Mm-hmm.
a background of some of the basic in SAP, where I was handling the procurement PR activities in SAP actually.
Okay.
So Ariba is new. For that one, I just thought to learn updates in the SAP.
Okay, so you are working into the procurement side as a facility procurement manager category for facility.
Yes, yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, so okay, okay. Thanks, Vasantam. Uh,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And Sumit Raj, can you, uh, Sumit Raj, you there? We'll go to another person. Uh, Hi, Salah. If I'm pronouncing correctly. Salah
I
Al.
think is Saleh. Saleh, you are having, you want to say something about yourself so that we'll get a clear picture like who are the participants that would be easier for us.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, hi,
Yeah, hi.
hi. Yeah.
This is Salah Al Shaban. I'm working as actually my background it's IT and system analyst. I have a bachelor degree in IT and master degree in system analyst. I'm working actually with oil company here in Saudi Arabia, and we recently implemented SAP Ariba, but we still have issue. And actually, I joined this training many times with Mr. Manoj, but I join it now. I need to see actually about the demo if I can decide to join or not, because we are recently will go live in our system and we have some issue, and I need at least to uh, solve this issue.
Mm-hmm. So you're working into the oil-based industry and your organization is using Ariba. So you wanted to learn how Ariba is being implemented into your organization.
Actually, we
Am I
already implemented the Ariba. Yeah, we implemented the Ariba, but we still have some issue in the system when you implement
Mhm.
it.
Okay. Okay. So you wanted to learn Ariba, like how the system is working in the organization and where the issues are going on. So
Yes,
what
that's
is
what I
your
mean.
background, Sally?
What you say?
Your area of expertise is in SAP background or ISOL or
Actually, I am in IT. I'm not in SAP. I used to work in one system called like uh, CLM contract life cycle, and which is related to IBM.
okay. Okay, only for contract
But when
specific.
we when we transfer, when my company implemented SAP Ariba, I joined the SAP Ariba team.
Mhm. Okay, 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 Salah, thanks. Um, let us see. Um, and next, Satish. Hi, Satish. Satish, can you unmute yourself and brief about your work background? That will help to understand like how the people who wanted to in different background. And Sumit and Satish, if possible, please unmute anyone. If not, I will go to
Hey, hi Manoj, Sumit here.
yeah, yeah. Hi, Sumit.
Yeah, yeah. I am from Pune and I am working in MNC company Infosys for last 3 years in SAP,
Mm-hmm.
SAP SRM functional consultant.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I
Sorry,
think
come back again. SAP S4. Which area?
SRM,
Okay,
Supplier
okay.
Relationship Management. Yeah,
Okay, SLM is sunset, right? It's over, I think, from this year. I hope. I
yeah,
mean,
2027.
okay, 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 Sumit. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and Satish, can you unmute yourself and just brief about your work background? Or I'm not sure if Satish. Okay, let's go to Nitin. Hi, Nitin.
Hello.
Yeah, hi, Nitin. Good evening.
Yeah, hi Manoj. Hi Manoj. Good evening. Yeah. So I'm an SAP consultant, and currently I'm working in a consulting company which is focused on procurement.
Mm-hmm.
And we are having projects where we will need to build some integrations in and out of Ariba. So that's why I'm interested in
Mm-hmm.
SAP
Okay, yeah.
Ariba.
Okay. Okay, Nitin. So you are into which module as of now? You're working in SAP.
So I'm more of a SAP functional consultant with logistics background. So SDMM, those
Okay,
modules.
okay, 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 Nitin. Yeah, thank you. And then start. Amit. Hi,
Yeah,
Amit.
yeah. Hi, Manoj. Yeah. So, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, yes, Amit.
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm Amit. Yeah, I have overall like 15 years of experience. I'm a functional consultant. I have worked across like multiple modules. MM is one of them. SNC is currently like it will be like retiring by again 2026-27.
Mm-hmm.
And currently one of the external tool I'm working on GEP tool, and
Mm-hmm.
also I have worked on ATTP module. Yeah, so I was expecting Manoj, yeah, maybe like some session on ATTP I was expecting, and as well as like the source system. Usually it's like S4 HANA MM. So I was
Mm-hmm.
expecting the upcoming some session on S4 HANA MM. Yeah. So overall,
Yes,
I
yes.
have worked across these modules SNC, MM, ATTP, and GP is an external tool. So my project has a GP tool onboarding. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay, yeah, yes, Amit. Yeah, I'll cover all these. Let us um, and I'll go to Jitendra. Hi, Jitendra. Jitendra and Satish. If you're able to unmute, yeah, yeah. Hi, yeah, Jitendra.
Yeah, hi sir.
Yeah, hi, hi.
Actually, I got disconnected due to some network issue. So again, I rejoined. So exactly, uh, I don't
Mhm.
know what is going on. Actually, it's the introduction, right, sir?
Yes, yes, yes. Today it is. We have started around 7:05. So, I just wanted to know about your background of the area which you have worked, and so that accordingly I can, if I understand everyone's uh, area work background, I can start with the very basics or little advanced like that. So just would like to know the process. I mean, what you have worked. So it would be great if you could uh, introduce yourself in your work background, Jitendra.
Yeah, sure, sir. Actually, I'm having more than 5 years of professional experience in different domain. And if I talk about the SAP and the procurement, actually, I'm
Mhm.
having more than 6 month experience, not more than 6 months. So it's fresh starting for me. And I had worked with TCS Hyderabad in the supply chain management procurement P2P process. So then I got to know that this kind of process is also going in Ariba. I was using Ariba also over there. So then I
Mhm.
got to know all the things about SAP and Ariba and this course. So that's why I have joined. And actually, right now I'm not in the same SAP domain and all. I'm working in different domain, but I'm willing to transfer my career or my professional journey into the SAP procurement. So especially, so that's
Mhm.
why I joined the session.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We will. Thanks, Jitendra. Um, I hope everyone is introduced except Satish. Satish, if possible, can you or will I'll share my screen and I'll start. Let me.
Yes, if you are having any issues in your mic also, you can even put in the chat window as well. Thank you. Yeah, Manu sir, we can start it.
Yes, and let me know if you're able to see my screen. Um, so I
Yes, we
hope
can start.
everyone able to see. Yes. Okay. So here, what we are going to learn and what is the motto of this demonstration in Ariba and uh, what it will give you in your career booster. Like if you upskill Ariba in the market, how the scope is as of now. So let's talk about it because in this session I will not take any uh, processes. I'll just share the purpose of Ariba and how it is helping in the market for the supply chain activity. Okay, so if I talk about Ariba, it is a cloud solution. So whatever we are looking, this is just ERP. In ERP system, we have a client and development and quality, and we will just log in data and we work entire functional module and ABAPers and basis will help for the administrative purpose. So in this ERP, we have all the master datas, but SAP product Ariba is also an SAP product where they will only concentrate on the cloud solutions. If I go to Ariba, it is completely URL based. Let me log in and just show you. So this is just, you have to just enter the URL and we have to go into the user ID and password, and the system will be completely cloud based. So this is the main differences between the ERP and cloud. And SAP has three different cloud solutions like Concur, Fieldglass, and Ariba. And Concur is for expenses, and Fieldglass is for HR management, or um, and Ariba is for entire supply chain processes. So here, one second, let me enter the OTP. One second. 767802. So this is entirely cloud solution, and we have ERP also. So in this ERP, all the master data will be available in the system. Either it should be S4 HANA or ECC above 6.0 version, and we use cloud to maintain or to manage the indirect procurement process or direct procurement process. But comparatively, all the functional modules where we have in SAP, let me log into SAP and just show. One second. So whatever data in the SAP we have in the system, okay, um, like master data, like organization data or company code elements or accounting data or user data. So all the data will be integrated to SAP Ariba. So using CAG. So Ariba Cloud is not a independent software. It is dependent with any ERP. It may be SAP ERP or non-SAP ERP. So what activities we do here? The entire supply chain management activities from the sourcing to the payment. I mean, not in the payment till the invoice processing. The payment will be again happen in S4 system only, S4 or backend system. As of now, we don't have a feature to process the payment in the Ariba system. So in Ariba Cloud, all the activities we have different module by module. When I compare to ERP, why I'm comparing with ERP? Most of the persons are working in the SAP side, so they were splitted the processes with like they have one specific functional module, and FI and CO and SD. So they have many modules where they have maintained their activity with with SD integration or FI integration. Okay, but in Ariba we have different modules. So in the market, if organization want to run one supply chain process, either it may be direct procurement or it may be indirect procurement, they may go with on-premise or on-cloud. So in on-premise, we have one package. If you purchase one SAP ERP, the material master or the material management end-to-end P2P flow can be covered. But in Ariba, we have all scattered in the different modules. So if I go to the modules, it will be the modules are scattered. So customers can buy any one module, or customers can go with end-to-end modules in Ariba Cloud. So we have a product. This is the first product in a cloud, SAP Ariba. Upstream and downstream, we have different platforms in Ariba Cloud. Other than that, we have one more platform which is Ariba Network. If I go to just URL only, supplier.ariba.com. If I enter supplier.ariba.com, it will navigate me to the network, Ariba Network, where formerly known as Ariba Network, now it is SAP Business Network, SBN. We call them SBN. So this is SAP Business Network. As a supplier, they can register themselves. This is for supplier sign-in. If I log in the same buyer.ariba.com, it will be for the buyer login. So this you will not be able to create or register yourself into the business network as a buyer. So you have to log in and you have to update you have to log in and you have to connect with the system. And this suppliers, every suppliers can register by themselves. In the market, around 60 lakh suppliers, over 6 million suppliers in live market are registered in SAP Business Network, where they are getting many benefits to have some more opportunities from the market. So that is the main benefit using Ariba by both customers as well as suppliers. I mean buyers and suppliers. So the business network is another product. Ariba Cloud is the first product, and the third one is the ERP. So these all three are binding together with some integration tool. It may be any integration tool, but SAP is giving a free of cost the cloud integration gateway. So that is earlier we called cloud integration gateway. Now the name is renamed as managed gateway for spend and business network. So we have to perform some integration activity in this area. So if we log into integration with other components, we will have a add-on. So that is something add-on product. So managed gateway for spend and business network, where we have to perform integration activity, some one-time activity we do to connect all these three systems. So one side SAP ERP and another side Ariba Cloud. We have both upstream and downstream. And finally, we have a business network where supplier network and buyer network together. Okay, so this is something very high level. Um, Anybody have any questions or concerns? You can interact and interrupt me if you're not getting the things. Can you guys unmute yourself and just if you have any questions, you can ask me. I hope it is clear. All the products about Ariba Cloud, about business network, and how it is depending with the SAP ERP. And now let's see how the customers are interacting. I mean, how the customers are being attracted by Ariba. So a lot of Fortune 500 organizations are started using Ariba as a platform to manage either their direct spend or indirect spend. So most of the organizations, either it may be automotive industry or any service-based industries or any manufacturing-based industries or pharma industries, everyone, even all the industries are using Ariba platform for to manage the indirect spend, mostly indirect spend. And we have a very good module of like a supplier management and strategic sourcing module and contract management, and then the procure to pay process in the cloud system. So that is the benefit. I'll show you the high level process flow. Anybody have any questions, guys?
No, sir, all good.
No questions.
Yeah, now I'll go to the screenshot. So what I'm going to teach here, I'll teach you how to implement a product. I won't teach you the usual process. So if I teach you how to implement a product, you will be able to work on the support area, and you will get a skill to find a root cause or to explore yourself based on the training where I'm giving. So what I'll teach each and every modules, I will teach you the business process, the best practice, and then how it is being integrated with the ERP side through CAG, and what are the backend process as a consultant that we are developing in the system, each and every module. As I said now, is one package. So where we have a business partner, company code, purchase organization, and all the operational procurement or central procurement or subcontracting, all the activities we do in a flow. But here, customer can opt only SLP module. SLP is nothing but supplier life cycle performance management. So this is one module, performance management. And sourcing is one module. We call them module by module. So here we have a separate business process of sourcing activity and how it is being integrated. So we have three types of scenario where organizations can opt any one or two, and how we are controlling the processes in the as a consultant. And then same way contract management. After that, buying and invoicing. So buying and invoicing is completely procure to pay. So we call BNI or procurement solution, whatever it may be. So here also the same activity. So this how it is getting integrated with the ERP. And in the business process we have two different user interface. One is BNI classic UI, I mean the old one, and new one is guided buying UI. How the business functions are taken, and the same way sourcing also we have same methodology in the business process. So here we have a classic sourcing and then guided sourcing. So this is the new sourcing methodology where SAP introduced a couple of years before, and classic sourcing is no more, and SAP stopped support on the classic sourcing. Customers are instructed to move to guided sourcing. The same way here, instead of backend process other than template and administration, we may have some process of forms, that is something custom forms. We will work of creating the PR forms, line item forms, and core admin activity. Okay, and here we may have some P2P manager activities in admin areas. So these all four will be in the Ariba cloud. So Ariba have differentiated the process two streams. The stream one is upstream, where high level decision making process, the sourcing and the contract, where CFO level, legal team, finance team, and CPO or procurement head, they will be involving in this area for sourcing area and contract area, and identifying and finalizing the suppliers are associated with these two process. So these three modules are into one stream, that is in upstream, and the operational activity. So these operational activity are into the separate area, that is in downstream. So we call them procure to pay, where operation team or normal users or requesters, they will create the purchase requisition and then purchase order and then goods received and then invoice reconciliation, payment. So the flow of the procure to payment process. So for that, we categorized as a downstream activity and upstream activity. We have a two different sites also. Since this is cloud system, we have a different site. So here we have a parent site and also child site. So parent site will hold the process of upstream activity. So this is parent site and this is child site. So the downstream process mostly into the child site. Now, if I compare, as you all know, because most of them worked in the SAP ERP, so you all know that we have a golden client and a diamond client. So client 100, 110, 200, like that, with the three type of system landscape: development system, quality system, and then production system. So development will be taken care, and then it will be transported to quality, and then it will be transported to production, and any customizations are required. We will sit up with ABAPers to create any functional modules or build up the any functional logics, and any integrations or some any additional accesses system issues, we may work with the basis team. But in Ariba, we don't have the development, quality, production and all. We call everything as a realm. So we call them as a realm. So we have two types of realm in the market in standard. One is test realm and another one is production realm. So in, so how can you find this, which one is test and which one is production? Because in SAP, whenever you establish the connection, you may set up the system with the client and DS4 or SS4, either it is sandbox or development, we maintain. But here the same methodology, you will be able to see the realm ID here. So this is the realm. So we will be able to see which realm we are into. So now you see, this is for test realm. So the realm is with the realm ID. If it is production, we will have production realm. So we will get it like this. Instead of test realm, we will get it without -t. So these are all in the URL. All the developmental activity which is required in Ariba, we will make sure to develop in the test realm. And here we don't have any cross-functional team, only consultant, Ariba consultant or a custom administrator. So who is working on upstream or who is working on downstream. So here we don't have any team members and we don't have a SD integration or a, MM integration, like that, separate cross-functional team. And we do not have any transaction codes. We don't have any customized transaction. Everything is menu path. So we have to navigate it to the menu path. All the activities, whatever we do, we will go by the menu path in the cloud itself, in the URL. Okay, all the developmental activity, different process. Like for supplier, there is some different area that we need to perform, and for sourcing, the same methodology, and all it is something. The experience how you are ordering in Amazon, the same methodology, completely e-commerce, which is business to business. It is not with business to customer. So the process is completely with business to business. So the developmental activity we do in test system, we as it is test realm, and we move some process manually and some process some automations also there, where we have to perform import export, those kind of activities. Okay, there is no transport request or there is no change request management, nothing. But RISE-FW elements we will use here for interfaces and some workspaces or some small elements only we will use. And how we are implementing a product in Ariba Cloud Solution, why customers are like to move into this. SAP have already the most powerful procurement process in the market, more than 20 plus years, that is material management. So the material management is having end-to-end procurement process, from the supplier onboarding and sourcing or contracting, subcontracting, MRP, whatever it may be, PR, RFQ, PO, invoice, GR, all the process we have in material management. But still, why SAP has acquired Ariba in 2012? So Ariba is not SAP own product. This has been acquired by them in 2012. Nearly 13 years before, they have purchased from, they have acquired them, and after 10 years, they concentrated um, very high attention. They paid very high attention to develop Ariba, and they were kept so many modules laid off. Like SRM is no more, and PIPO. There are so many modules, and then so many functional modules have been. They haven't concentrated on developing those modules, and they concentrated on Ariba Cloud. So that is the reason in the market, Ariba is booming. Competitors are there. Let's say competitors like Workday, Jagger, and not Coupa. So these are all some small, including Oracle. They are also evolving in the market. But SAP have so many customers attracted since 1975. They were into the market, so they have attracted so many customers already. So all the existing customers, if they want to develop or if they want to move to some cloud platform, obviously they will at least inquire or they will request the demo with the Ariba. So that is the reason SAP is holding so many projects or so many customers into the Ariba platform. So almost if you just Google it about SAP Ariba marketplace, so they hold nearly 50% shares in end-to-end procurement software. Out of 100, 50% they were holding, and other than 50, all 50 will be with Oracle and other procurement softwares. Um, so anybody have any questions till now about these modules and submodules? And what is upstream, what is downstream, what is realm, and what is test realm, and what is production realm? If not, please confirm. I'll go for the next. Yes.
Yeah. I
Can you
have one
explain,
question
please?
regarding the sourcing.
You mean about realm?
No, about the sourcing actually.
You wanted to know about the sourcing process? Yes, I'll
No,
explain.
I need to ask about. Are you going to explain like guided sourcing or classic one? The interface.
Guided sourcing. No, I'm going to train both of the sourcing module. Both,
Okay.
because guided sourcing is the evolving one, which is having different user interface. So how it
Yeah.
works in the market. So I will teach both. So there is nothing, only user interface is different. So if I go to For You tab, guided sourcing is a separate dashboard where we have a same sourcing process. Process remains same, but we have some additional features in this guided sourcing. Guided sourcing is integrated with the SLP module, contract module, a guided buying module, and also so any third party external and system integration also with user friendly. As of now, customers are struggling to use this because uh, they were very familiarized with the classic sourcing, so they were just struggling as of now in the market. So soon they will say it is better than classic sourcing. So I will teach you the process and backend activity, how we can control this guided sourcing. On the same way, I will explain the classic sourcing also. So I will run end-to-end business process for both classic sourcing and guided sourcing. What is the benefit and drawback in classic sourcing and benefits in guided sourcing, and how template have been processed in this. So process remains same, only the user interface and some additional features were given in the sourcing project. So I will teach end to end this module also, all the modules whatever I have said here: the SLP business process, integration scenario, backend process, sourcing business process for both classic sourcing and guided sourcing, and integration scenarios and the backend processes. So the same way contract also. Contract, as of now in the market, SAP is having alliance with 𝐼𝐳 software. 𝐼𝐳 is one more third party software where they are only concentrating on the contracting process and signatures and the approval flow, process flow. So Ariba software is integrated with 𝐼𝐳 management. So I'll give you the brief process about 𝐼𝐳 and how it is working into the integration, and what about backend process activity we do in the contract management. The same way downstream also. So I will be covering this guided sourcing also. Anybody have any questions? I think Sumit, you try to ask something.
Yeah, I'm just asking about real. You were saying something about that. Can you explain please
Real.
again?
You mean realm, right?
Yeah.
Realm is something
Yes.
URLs. So we call them as a realm. So this is something URL. So this realm is something we are calling them as a realm. So in Ariba we call them system. So here we, that is the fact, or we that is terminalized like realm. We used to call them as a realm. The product name test realm, test site. So we are calling, right, development system. Same method, test realm and production realm. The URL that we are calling as a realm. And we have two type of realm for both the sites. If I go to um, upstream and downstream, we have a parent site and child site realm. So these two are two different realm. So if I copy and highlight, you will be able to see. If I copy here, and so this is something upstream realm for test site, upstream test site. Okay, I'll just highlight it for a better understanding. So here it is sourcing. So if I go to the system URL, you will be able to see it is sourcing, because this is parent site. In test realm, we have two sites. So this is parent site, and the same way in this system, this is for child site. You can see the differences in the URL itself. So this is just professors RSA app-t. This is professors RSA app 1t. So this is child site, and in the URL itself it is mentioned for the buying activity. So it should be buying. Okay, not only the practice system, even in the real system also it will be like that. Okay, if I show you in the real system, I'll just show the URL. So this is one of our Australia client URL. I'll show the URL itself. So it will be having the same methodology. So we will get whether it is upstream and the sourcing realm. So once I logged in end to end, I will be able to see the real ID. So as of now, I haven't logged in, so it is not showing the real ID. Once I logged into the system, it will show me the real ID. So this is client system URL. So all you will get it URL based. That URL we called as a realm. Test system, test realm, production site, production realm. I hope it is clear. And now, is it clear, Sumit?
Manoj, it's clear.
Yeah. And anybody have any other question before I jump into the another topic? So I hope everybody is getting some high level idea about the process for both upstream and downstream. And there is one more thing I just wanted to highlight. We have to learn all the process. Obviously, we have to learn all the process. But in real time, when you start working on the project, either it may be implementation project, it may be a greenfield implementation or a brownfield implementation or some. If you are going for the AMS role, any support project, you will not be placed to work all the area at one go. So you may be placed only for upstream area or you may be placed only for downstream area. If the project is very big, they will be hiring only for sourcing. So in the trend in the European market, they will be having mostly upstream processes. But in India, mostly will be downstream P2P processes. Okay, so it depends on the client and depends on the project. You may be placed to work on one specific area, but in the market, we are going to be get hired in tier 1 or tier 2 sector, service based sector mostly, and some product based industries. But still, they expect end to end knowledge. They will not expect if actual requirement for them may be only sourcing process, but still they will ask SLP, they will ask BNI, and they will ask CAG knowledge also. So we have to learn all together the business process and the backend system work and the integration scenario for module by module with only SAP ERP, not any non-SAP ERP, and CAG with CAG. Okay, and then if I come to the data, in the datas, all the business process is running behind this data. So that the data we have a master data and transaction data. So we all know transactional data and master data. So in this master data, we have so many master data. So we have supplier master, or we call them somebody say vendor master, and then organization data, organizational data. So that may be company code, purchase org. Uh, so there are more plant, plant specific company code, purchase org or asset. So these type of data, and another one is accounting based master data, accounting elements or accounting master data, or some cross application master data also will be there. Cross application data and user data. Currency is also one type of master data. Currency master data. So these are all some master data. And what about transactional data? Your PO, PR, receipts, and active contracts and invoice. So these transactional data and master data are main uh, pillar of the procurement process. This data is required to automate the business process or to initiate the business process. So in this master data, whatever I mentioned, except supplier master, all the data are integrated from backend system, any ERP application to Ariba. And transactional data also, in the beginning of implementation, all the legacy data. So these transactional data, if I say in the beginning, some legacy data, all legacy data, legacy suppliers, legacy PO, legacy contract, legacy sourcing projects, all the legacy data for both. So these will be loaded into the system. So it may be, we call them as a migration activity, where migration team separately will work. Like in side, they will have some LSMW system or migration cockpit. There is one more tool also they use to migrate the material masters company code. The same way, all the datas from ERP, we have the same tables we use to get the data from that data migration team, and we set up a integration or interface program from ERP to Ariba, which automates sending the data on sequential basis. So these are all some one-time activity. So here, as I said, business network, we have a supplier network and buyer network. Apart from those four modules, apart from these modules, these all modules into Ariba Cloud, this is half. Like supply chain collaboration is something integrated with S4 and Ariba Network with SAP Business Network. In the supply chain collaboration, PR, PO, GR, invoice, every activities like subcontracting or scheduling agreement, everything will be happened in S4 system, and all the data will be flow from S4 to Ariba Network. So that this is different process and different module. So I'll give you the process flow of supply chain collaboration and commerce automation also. So apart from that, the basics about sourcing and procurement. So what is the prerequisites? Who one, like who can learn Ariba? So I'm into technical, or I'm into pure functional, or I'm into normal user, end user. I'm into the sourcing and procurement field. I'm a buyer. So is it possible to learn? So here we are not using any coding or any formulas something. So this is, if you understand the supply chain functionality, if you are able to understand the your organization supply chain functionality, end-to-end business process, not in depth, the flow, how the flow is, the landscape, your system landscape, then you will be able to work as a consultant. Training is required. So once you learn, obviously you will know how to explore in the market, because we have so many resources like knowledge base articles are there, and SAP community is there, and we have a SAP learning and SAP help guides are there. So you will be able to start exploring by yourself after you get learned with some real project experience with some basic ideas. Okay. So if you're into any domain, so now you guys most of into facility procurement. Uh, Vasantam is into the supply chain side, and so many are into different area. But still, if you're able to understand what is sourcing, what is procurement, what is supply chain, then obviously you will be able to learn how the process are fetched into the Ariba software. It may be any software. So you need to understand the process so that you will be able to use the software. Some features, benefits, integrations will be there. Those things I will teach you, all the end-to-end activity. Let's say some in small activity in the sourcing process. So we perform sourcing events, RFI, RFP, auction. So we have a English auction for Japanese auction and Dutch auction. So what is English, what is Dutch, and what is Japanese? What is forward, what is reverse? So these are all the business processes. How it is created in Ariba. I will explain those things in the upcoming sessions. In the sourcing process, the same way supplier management is one of the most important process in Ariba. Most of the customers are interested to buy SLP license, because in the market, validating the supplier, identifying or choosing the right supplier is most challenging for the buyers or the procurement team. So because uh, they wanted the real-time collaboration, the real-time integration with the supplier softwares or supplier all the suppliers. So they wanted to evaluate suppliers' background or environmental concerns, or if they have any what so how they are into the market when they have established. So for that, Ariba is giving the very best module SLP, where you can onboard the supplier, you can gather all the informations, you can qualify them, you can mark preferred, and you can disqualify them. So once you onboarded the supplier, once you initiated the event and contract is signed, after that also you can evaluate the supplier performance management. So how they are performing in the system. So I'll show you in one small circle, you will understand the entire process. So this is the circle. Okay. So here it starts from wherever access internal demand. It starts from, let's say, access internal demand. Develop sourcing strategy, execute the strategy, implement the changes, PR, PO, and then acknowledgement, GR, and invoices and payment. Then I'm going to analyze the spend, how I have been utilized the spend. Again, I'm checking the supply, whether the supplier is good or not. If I'm not good, again I will go for the internal demand. So it start from internal demand or it start from supply market. So I may not keep on staying with one supplier or I may not keep on changing with one supplier. So there will be, as per every organization, internal sourcing and procurement policies. So this will be running. So this is some simple supply chain process flow where we are using in Ariba. So accessing the internal demand, requirement identification, developing sourcing strategy, and executing the sourcing strategy is for evaluations and supplier identifications. And after that, getting up with the operational changes or implementing negotiations and contract and P2P. So purchase of goods, delivery of inspection, and invoice processing. So this is very high level of the supply chain flow where we are helping, Ariba is helping for the business processes. Okay, I'll show you the business process. So this is entire Ariba Cloud solutions. So whatever I have discussed, the 4 points in Ariba Cloud: supplier management, strategic sourcing, procurement, contract. So supply chain collaboration is additional module where ERP and SAP Business Network are integrated. So what are the features? So if you see horizontally, that is different product. If you see vertically, you will be able to see the features. So for supplier management, the solutions list of Ariba solutions, SLP, supplier risk, SIPM. So we will be learning SLP and what are the features we have: supplier profiles and qualifications and performance, and what are the risk we have. So these are all the key features. On the same way, analytics, how we are using the analytics, the reporting area. And the same way, sourcing. So we have two types of sourcing. So buyers might know what is strategic and what is tactical. So what is long-term relationship with the supplier, what is the short-term or quick sourcing. So we have so many events. We have RFI event, RFP event, and auctions. So this e-auction is having forward, reverse with English, Dutch, and Japanese. And we have so many scenarios and savings tracking. And then some complex projects also can be created. On the same way, contracts, contract repositories, and clauses, and libraries, and e-signatures. So these all you will be able to find in the system. So Ariba is giving sourcing library to store the. So it will help to buyers to store all the contents, line items, and Ariba is helping contract libraries, clause libraries, where contract agents can maintain all the data. Let me go to upstream and I'll show you. So Ariba is helping all the contract agents for the clause libraries, and then reports, all the analytics, prepackaged reports with the industry specific, the best practice process flow, like supplier request report or sourcing report or active PO report or active user report, all the reports and public reports, or we can use the analytical report also. Okay, and then all the administrative activities. So these all managed activities will be taken care by the custom administrator who is consultant. So custom administrator will manage entire site, upstream or downstream, parent side or child side. The consultant will manage, and the create activities, whatever create activities, creating the reports or creating contract request or contract workspace or guided sourcing or classic sourcing or supplier request or supplier performance, all the activity will be taken care by the business users. So business users are going to use this, consultants are going to use this to configure the data and to develop the data. Accordingly, system will respond in the create area. So whatever I am creating sourcing project, that might be developed in the template area, manage and templates that might be developed in the template area. So we don't have separate menu path for a module by module. It is completely only two URL. One is for parent site, one is for child site. Here we can navigate the sites. If I want to go to parent site and if I want to go to child site. Okay. In upcoming sessions, you will get to know the differences. Okay. If I go to supplier management, all the suppliers can be managed. So supplier request, supplier registration, supplier qualification, preferred suppliers, and disqualifying them again. And if I want to go for another modular questionnaires, I can go for a modular questionnaires, additional data. So those are all the process flow for supplier management. Okay, I'll show you. Before going for that, anybody have any questions? Are you guys following? Any questions? Is it clear? If it is,
Yeah, it's very good information. I have one question.
yeah, Nitin.
Are you going to cover this complex services and the service entry sheet also in the course?
Yes, actually, that is one process. In procurement activity, we have a service procurement process, and how service entry sheet process we are going, like the lean services. So, I will explain those processes, the process flow. So, how suppliers are submitting service entry sheet, uh, how we are creating the service POs and all. So, whatever specific to Ariba, I will share that. I mean, I will do the test run and I will configure those activities.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Let me continue on this. The same contract, and after that buying and invoicing. So procurement is buying and invoicing. It is covered buying and invoicing module P2P. And after that, commerce automation. So commerce automation and supply chain collaboration, I'll explain the process and I'll give you high level overview about the direct sourcing, because in the market, um, commerce automation and supply chain collaboration is now evolving. The most frequently used by customers, out of 100%, 80% we are using supplier, sourcing, contract and buying and invoicing. So I will teach end to end all this area, and supply chain collaboration and commerce automation I will show you the process flow and I will explain the functions. So this is something about how system is getting integrated, all the systems, complete small landscape where SAP Business Network is connected with the modules in Ariba Cloud to ERP. So how it is getting connected with CAG, I will show you. Um, so this is high level process flow. The circle what I have shown. So source and contract, plan and forecast, and buy and deliver, invoice and pay. So this is one 4-step flow. In this 4-step flow, we need all this supplier collaboration and procurement analytics and intelligence and supplier risk management. So supplier is required. So this is something cross-process support for end-to-end activity. But the main area, source and contract, planning and buying, and then paying to them. Okay, and this is something about short overview about ICERTs, how the contract management, Ariba contract is being integrated with ICERTs. And then how the spend management, either direct procurement or indirect procurement or service procurement or any expense management, how it is being integrated to SAP Business Network with either SAP ERP or non-SAP ERP. So we will learn this collaborations, how the process flow is into the market. So this is some high-level process flow, how the buying activity and invoicing activity is getting done. So let me show you here how the contracts or catalog based the requisitioner is submitting the PR and how approver is approving the PR, and then the purchase order or changes or cancellations, how it is sending it to supplier, and then PO acknowledgement, shipment, and then receiving. So after receiving invoices, after invoices, the account receivable and payable process. So the flow, P2P flow. This is the complex flow. In the complex flow, how it is systemized in Ariba. So this is the process where we can systemize from ERP using Ariba solution to the business network. So shopping, and the requester will initiate the shopping and they will submit the request, and after approvals PO is going to issue and supplier confirm the PO or advance shipping notices, and any changes required it can be performed, or cancellation, any optional activities can be performed. And the PO integration, as a consultant we have to do PO integration, and then GR integration, GR processing, invoice integration, invoice submission, invoice verification, invoice reconciliation, and then payment processing by account payable, the payment remittances, the payment status, which is integrated to supplier again. So these all arrows, whatever it is showing is the integration flow where we have to perform. Okay, these are all the personas where involving in the process flow in the supply chain. So this is very high level how buying and invoicing for each and every process we have a step by step detailed description and the backend activities. For approvers it is one line approvals, but we have a very big process in that approval flow. If I navigate it to child side, so it will be like if I go to approval processes, requisition we have a approval flow, invoice we have a approval flow. So you see so many approval type. GR we have a approval flow, invoice reconciliation we have a approval flow, GR we have a approval flow, service entry sheet we have a approval flow. So all the approval flows can be managed. So every approval flow, if I open any approval flow, you will be able to view the approval, how approval diagrams we are drawing. I mean how we are developing these approval diagrams and setting up the rules and approval lookup tables. So this is in this one big process in the small box approvals, but these approvals have a backend activity. Same way each and every process have a different activity, and getting the requirement for that each and every process, each and every field, and the purpose of the field is going to happen in the implementation. Okay, if I show you one file you will get understand. One second, let me open that file. Okay, let it open. So this is just requirement gathering, how the requirement gathering we are doing. So I'll give you the high level process flow of implementation methodology. So the 7 steps of the software SDLC method, software development life cycle. So how we are following, so either in agile methodology or waterfall methodology. So any one, I'll give you the high level flow. Okay, so this is one of my earlier implementation project for only downstream area. Okay, so from my client, so what are all the solutions in the scope for my client? Okay, these many solutions which are all is selected. So this workbook is provided by SAP. So we haven't created this workbook. So this workbook itself provided by SAP. So we are discussing the requirements in three tiers. So complete response is required before, as a consultant, to start building the process, or only initial response required before the build can started. So, but this has to be finalized by the client, and responses need in order to complete the final build prior to go live. Okay, so these are all the tiers. We gather the requirement and we will discuss. We will have a workshop. We will design the process flow with the best practice scenario. We will explain and we will present into the client, and we will gather the requirement in the workbook one by one, process by process. If I show you PR, procurement, I mean, in the purchase requisition approval process. So we will gather the requirement like this. The same approval process we will design in the system. So we will draw the system, the same method. So whatever we have received the approval process, so this is in the script. The same script need to be developed in the system. This is approval process diagram between. So this is how the requirements will be. The same way field customization and accounting elements, receiving process, services. So all the service entry sheet activity. We will so I will teach this something with some real-time project example. So the same, likewise, I have a sourcing requirements, how we are developing the templates, how we are configuring. So those processes I will share in upcoming trainings. And then after procurement process, this is something about CAG. Okay, CAG is something for a technical side. So we don't need to go in depth in technical, but we have to learn some basics where in the market all the customers, I mean, all the client, I mean, tier one sector side or the client side. So once you join into the organization, that is not means like you're going to start working. So once you join, they will place you in bench. You have to clear the client round. Client must choose you. So getting into the organization is simple. After that, client must choose you. So if client wanted to choose you, they will expect all the thing that you have worked or not. So for that, you should have some knowledge or some practices in that area. So for CAG, all the connection establishments and certificates, RFC, port, logical system, how we are defining. So what is remote function call? Why we want to create port, and why we want to load the balance certificate from CAG, and what is proxy? What is proxy user? So these activities we are not doing. We should know. These activities are done by the basis team. We should know. So for RFC, we have a SM59 for the RFC definition connection. And certificates, we have S Trust or SICF or SCIF. So like that, each and every connections, it should be maintained by the basis team. We should know this. So where this CAG certificate is imported in the system. So who had done that? So basis team will do this SSL load client certificate. Okay, how they have importing the certificate in the system. So that, I mean, connection configuration between ERP to CAG and CAG to back ERP with cloud connector. So you see, this is SSL tunnel. The SSL certificate need to get imported, and cloud connector should be enabled, installing the cloud connector, and then some activity have to done. So those something, all the installation and configuration specific to cloud connector or CAG connection configuration will be taken care by basis. But we should know what is SOAP, system objects application programming. what is SOAP, what is HTTPS, and why we are using web services. These are all web services. Why we are using web services? What is the difference between IDOC format like EDI, ALE? We use EDI for our external system integration, electronic data integration, something EDI. In ERP side, in Ariba side, we have a CXML, Commerce Extensive Markup Language, like an abbreviation. The CXML format are being converted in CAG and transferred to S4 system. The same way, how inbound and outbound are happening, how the data is getting flowed, why Cloud Connector is required. So, what is the purpose of Cloud Connector? And what is the purpose of CAG, and why we need to install CAG add-on, and why we need to set up CAG in Ariba Cloud also. The same method, one side we will install CAG add-on in ERP side. On the other hand, we use the same CAG in cloud side also. If I go to manage administration, I'll give you the high level view. Integration manager, managed gateway. So we have to enable the CAG. The CAG need to get enabled, and then web services task. So these are all the web services tasks should be enabled in Ariba Cloud for all the site. Administration is for parent site, core administration is for child site, and business network also the CAG need to get enabled. So the initial setup, configuring the connections, mapping the variants, what is real, all the data we need to, like for example, send the information to SAP. How the SAP informations are being integrated to CAG. So all the activity to migrate the data. So these basic things. So why we need to map the variants and partitions, all the real ID. So these are the standard real ID for procurement integration and sourcing integration. The same way business network integration. So we should know only the business process, master data integration, business network integration, sourcing integration, and procurement integration. What parameters we wanted to do, what configurations we need to do. Let's say, for example, if I want to set up the interface, so why I need to do the interface setup, and what activity I have to perform in the interface. So why I need to configure the connections to send message. What is the purpose of setting up IDOC interface, and what is the purpose of setting up web services interface, and how the data flow from one system to other system. Where should I monitor them? Like we have SRT Moni and IDOC monitors in W02, reprocessing IDOCs in 87. So this activity we perform. I'll show that CAG end-to-end flow with specific to the Ariba cloud. Okay, all the documents, I have a real-time project document where I can show the process flows. Okay, before going to the next topic, anybody have any questions?
Will you be demonstrating any third-party integrations?
Third-party integration, as of now, I don't have the real-time project data, but I will show you because that is purely dependent on the CPI consultant. If legacy channels, if you have any legacy third-party invoicing channels or third-party ERP, how it is being integrated with middleware, I'll show you the business process flow. Okay, but we don't involve into the work. Let's say this is one approach with third party and direct approach, direct connectivity and mediated connectivity, where your customer environment is in SAP ERP. We will go through Cloud Connector and CAG, and sourcing, buying and invoicing, business network, all the cloud environment is getting being integrated. If you're going with third party ERP, we use middleware. So how the middleware is using and how the middleware consultant are being customizing, they will have some GCP data mod to store the data. If we don't have access on this, but I'll show you the scenarios whichever I have for the third party integration. But this is most widely used one. with S4, ECC, CAG to Ariba Cloud. If your client is using Oracle or Workday, if you wanted to know something in depth, if you share the scope of your work, I'll try to explain on it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, welcome. So this is the direct approach. So whatever I showed in on-premise, the add-on, CAG add-on, it will be in this area. So this is CAG add-on. So the menu path is, I'll show you the menu path, SPRO. In SPRO, reference IMG. If I go to the reference IMG, I have to go to integration with other components. One second. Integration with other components, and then CAG add-on. So these other components, these all add-ons are installed by the basis team from the SAP Marketplace. So this is the CAG add-on. So in this CAG add-on, we have to perform the activity that is on-premise add-on, either in a ECC or in HANA. So that add-on should be installed, and the connection between on-premise to CAG established, and later CAG to all the product sourcing or business network or buying and invoicing. So this HTTPS connection or add-on based connection should get established. So this is configuring the connections between all the systems that we have to perform. Okay, so I will teach these areas also, and what are the activity we do in CAG. So what is the benefits about the previous architecture and current architecture. Once again, sorry guys, any questions on this about the process flow, whatever I have explained? Hope you guys followed. Anybody have any questions? So what are the area that the table of contents? I'll share you the table of contents with the team. So this is the table of content which I'm going to teach. The user process, all the create activity, in SLP module, supplier registration, request qualification process, and sourcing for both classic and guided sourcing, and then contract management and what is CLID and what is contract term, difference between contract compliance and contract line item, and buying and invoicing activities with guided buying. So I'll run the flow for P2P for both in the classic UI and guided buying UI. So this is user test where we should understand the user process so that you will be able to do the dry run test or integration test. This is must we should do. So we should be 100% confidence on this user activities. After that, development, all the developmental activities. So whatever developmental activities we are doing in the template management, I mean the administration tasks, what all the activity we do in administration area, and then core admin task. So for supplier management, we have SM administration. So what activity we do in SM administration? If I go to, let's say if I go to SM admin, so how I can control the supplier integration in ERP integration. So why I need to mention the system ID, and what is the integration type recommended for supplier, and where I can do the mass invite, and what are all the parameters need to get enabled. So the same way, this is for supplier management administration, and for Ariba sourcing we have administration. So how can we manage the entire site customizations and commodity manager? So we have around 10 to 15 managers where we need to learn, and templates. So entire upstream, the business process were maintained in the template where I'll explain the template level process flow. And then these are all the high level table of content for user and admin. This is for Ariba Cloud where it is If I show you this, these three areas: Ariba Sourcing, Ariba Network, and Buying and Invoicing. So for these three area, the table of content, and for 𝐂𝐤𝐸 and for 𝐂𝐤𝐸 and ERP, we have a separate process. That if I go down all the 𝐂𝐤𝐸 about buyer network, so what are the activity we perform in the buyer network, and about supplier network, so what is the difference between buyer network and supplier network, and about 𝐂𝐤𝐸 in cloud. If I go to Ariba back, manage, administration, admin, and integration, managed gateway, and then visit 𝐂𝐤𝐸. So separate URL will get enabled, integration.ariba.com, where we need to configure the connections between 𝐂𝐤𝐸 to ERP, 𝐂𝐤𝐸 to Ariba. So this is the binding, all three together. If you see this, you will understand clearly. So this is not something one way, all two way. So it is binding between 𝐂𝐤𝐸 to ERP, ERP to 𝐂𝐤𝐸. The same way, 𝐂𝐤𝐸 to cloud and cloud to 𝐂𝐤𝐸. So this connection should be established in integration. So I need to configure the connections. I need to develop the integration project. The connection should be developed in this method. If I open the connections, so I will have a proxy user ID, pre-user ID, authentication method, what is the document type, and port ID, SAP client system, and the location and Ariba system ID, all the activities. So how we do this? So in real-time project, I will show how I worked and how I have done the integration test. So these activities will be covered in the session. Okay. If I show you some example screenshots. So I have so many files on 𝐂𝐤𝐸 with real time. I'll show you one end-to-end integration, how it looks. Let it open. And anybody have any questions till now? So how we create the integration project, where, so to create the integration project, so where we enter the data, how we establish the connection. So step by step with the real-time project. So these are all my real-time project data, and how it is getting integrated with the S4 system, till S4 system. So the ERP integration with the standard interface. So where the data is getting integrated. So with the integration messages. So how I did the interface setup. So this is all standard messages. So these all I have tested this year, in the beginning of the year, in my recent project. So I'll share those project data, my project experience, and how I developed the functional design document. So how I developed the interface element for automatic synchronization, some example of data migrations and the process flow, some customizations where I worked. So I'll show those data. So these are all the data where, so how suppliers are getting created in SLP and being integrated to S4. So the end-to-end process flow for SLP. The same way how sourcing and how contract and buying invoicing, I'll explain it. And then supply chain collaboration. I will have a high-level flow for supply chain collaboration, like PO collaboration, scheduling agreement collaboration. So this is about scheduling agreement process flow. So how scheduling agreement is being created and how it is being integrated to Ariba network, that is business network, SBN, we call them SAP business network. So how the flow will be from ERP to Ariba. I will give you the process flow for scheduling agreement flow and consignment collaboration, how the consignments are being getting collaborated. So these are all for supply chain collaboration flow. And this is not required, but I'll share the process flow of direct material sourcing, the direct procurement between S4 HANA and Ariba. So I will share this data. So how product sourcing is working in the system, where I worked in one project, in small scale project. So I will share this process flow about product sourcing. That is something different. Okay. So in summary, all the Ariba cloud products like Ariba upstream, sourcing, contract, SLP, Ariba downstream, buying and invoicing, and then SAP ERP, the important tables and important transactions and important process flow in SAP ERP and CAG, all the activity I will show. So for example, suppose if I wanted to go to any table, so we are using some standard tables. If I go to SE16N, we have some standard tables, ERB, underscore syst ID map. So there is one table, okay, where this table need to get created and developed. As of now, this table is not yet developed in the practice system. So why we use this CAD table? And the same way we have TWAP table and our standard using tables also, like T001 for a company code specific data and T002 for purchase of and company code specific data, or LFA1, LFM1 for supplier specific data. Okay, we don't use Mara table, MARTC, EKKO. So some tables we use EKKO or EKORG. So 𝐸𝐾𝐸𝐽 for PO specific data and 𝐸𝐾ORG something for purchase of specific data. So these some tables we use. So this is for purchasing document header data. So I will share this useful and important informations other than SPRO, and in SA38 we execute the program. So there is one standard program, ERBCAG underscore master data export underscore master underscore data. So there is some standard program where we export all required master data from upstream to. So if we execute this program, we have a we have to export the data from one system to other system. Okay, so I will show that some high level flow with my real time system experience. So ERP side and CAG side, Ariba all cloud side, for both front end and back end activities with some implementation project documentations I will be covering in this training journey. So it will help you to explore in real time and work into the projects, or if you're not working, if you're looking for the project, it will help you to excel and express your experience in the interviews. So it will identify you and you will be able to, if you practice well, you will be able to clear the interviews by the knowledge where I'm sharing. And then you will be able to work independently with the documents what I'm providing, and then you will be able to explore on your own based on the skills what you have gathered in the training. Um, Anybody have any questions or queries? I hope it is clear. Any areas that you wanted to not if you're not understanding, and if you want to explain, I'll explain it back. You can just input your comments. Please unmute yourself and just confirm this.
Yeah, Manoj. So one by one, we will get used to, like, because you have given overview for lot many things, right? So one by one,
Yeah,
as soon as the
in
session
this 40
is going.
plus hours journey, we will be going step by step, document the process by process. We will be going process by process.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, Amit. And anybody? And Satish, I'm not sure if you're able to. Satish and Harendra, uh, you guys are, I think, joined in between. Hi, Harendra.
Hello,
So,
Manoj. Actually, there is a question and which I would like to learn as well.
Mhm. So your voice is not clear, Harendra.
Just a second.
I think there is some issue with the mic. I hope. Um,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, guys, if any one of you are having any queries relevant with the training or the administrative process, I just want to tell you like tomorrow we are having the first session for this particular training going forward. Tomorrow we'll be starting with the Ariba sourcing actually. Okay, so tomorrow is the first session. Today was the just a demo session in which Manoj has given a complete overview of what we are going to go going forward, how we are going to cover it, everything in detail and in-depth fashion. Okay, tomorrow we are going to start the actual session. First session is going to be there tomorrow the same time, and going forward we'll be having the regular sessions only on the weekend, Saturdays and Sundays, 7 p.m. onwards. So sometimes it may go to 7 to 8:30 or 9 o'clock or 9:30, depending upon the topic which we are covering. But considering the duration of 45 plus hours something, so we are definitely covering all the topics which already been shown in the demonstration, and the recordings of course will be sharing to every one of you who already have registered for this one, and who are there are some people who already had registered with us, and there are some people who already you know going to register maybe. So we'll be sharing the recordings of every session, and of course the server access will also be shared with you once the registration process is completed. And there are a lot of documents we are having, like Manoj has shown you, right? So all those documents are also Manoj is sharing with you guys for your reference later on. So recordings and the documents are going to be there with you as long as you want to be, like it's going to be lifetime access for the recordings as well as the documentations which we are providing to you. And server access would be for 2 months. Okay, you can immediately start using the server access, or you can keep it on hold. Whenever you want to start, you can start it for the practice purpose, but advisable to have it within 3 months duration. You should avail the server access. So that is the basic things. For the rest of the part, like those who are yet to register for enroll for the course, you can connect with Sana. She'll be helping you out for the processes, how to go ahead. And definitely like this learning journey is going to be very helpful and going to give you a very fruitful results going ahead. Yeah. So if there is anything else you want to add, or you want to ask something, please be open your mics and you can ask. We are here to answer your queries.
For the system access, what all systems will be provided? Servers.
We'll be providing Ariba upstream, downstream, guided buying, guided sourcing. There are actually three realms we'll be providing to you. Okay, so one is like spend management. We call it as what spend management, in which upstream, downstream will already be there, and there'll be guided buying. Another separate realm will be there, and also Ariba network. So these are the three things we'll be providing to you.
Okay, how about CIG? Is it included or not?
CIG is there in the upstream side, but if somebody
yeah,
wants to have the
sorry to interrupt, Eraj.
yeah,
Yes,
Manoj.
yes, Nitin. CAG will be included. That is within Ariba platform itself. So if you log in, this is the CAG. So only ERP, I will share the screenshots where we have the one-time activities in the real-time project. So within Ariba Cloud, all the activities that CAG or Intelligent Configuration Manager. So if I go to the configurations, this is also separate URL. It will be logging for the intelligence and getting the custom fields. So all the accesses, it will be included in the Ariba cloud for both upstreams and downstreams. And with guided buying, we have a separate URL. So if I go to um, so there is one more URL. So when once you got the access, you will be able to navigate it to the GB realm. So this is guided buying source. Except ERP, that one-time activity for global settings and procurement integration, you will get all the access.
Okay, so S4 HANA is not included.
Yes, because we are not learning any functional modules, right? That is only
Yeah,
one
yeah.
SPRO activity we are doing now. So that's
Okay.
why. So that one I will teach you the things, and I will share the screenshots also. So all my previous batches I used to teach with screenshots, or one day I will use my my client system and I'll share my ERP experience, the data, the one-time activity in one session. Yes, Raj. Please continue, Raj. Sorry for the interruption.
No, no, it's okay, fine, no problem. So yeah, so guys, the thing is like those who still want to have the completely integrated realm with the S4 HANA, they also can avail. That will be costing a little higher side. Okay, so you can connect to me or connect to Sana for that one. But the activities which will be shown by Manoj will be covering everything. Okay, nothing to worry on that one. Okay, yeah, a good question. So is there anybody else, guys?
Yeah, yeah. So Aras, yeah. So like, when is the plan for like SAP S4 HANA session? Any recent this month or the coming month? Yeah, or it will be delayed.
Next week we are planning for the S4HANA sessions. So those sessions are also going to be in depth one. S4HANA sourcing and procurement we may be starting next week. Next weekend we may be having the demo session for that.
Okay, okay, okay. And for like further discussion, like again, Sana will provide the details, right?
Yes, Sana is the source of contact. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So you already are working in S4HANA something?
Yes, yes. Like I'm part of like S4 HANA like as well as like legacy and then like SNC, GEP, ATTP. Yeah. So I was expecting just like as a query, do you have like some plan in future? Because I do not see anything related to ATTP, advanced track and trace for pharmaceuticals. So do you have something in plan for that as well, or it's out of scope?
No, ATTP is something which is very rare module, I can say, like
Correct,
very
correct.
few
It's a rare one. Yeah, it's only used for like
very rare.
pharma company and where
That's
we
true.
have like defense companies. Yeah, yeah.
That's true. That's true. So the consultants, because you see, we do the training with a very proper, knowledgeable consultants who are having a real experience and who can, give you a very better knowledge. So for ATTP, it's very difficult for us to find. Even I myself, also an SAP consultant, I'm having very huge network. So to get the ATTP consultant for the training purpose is going to be very difficult. Even they are very good, but they rarely do the trainings. And for ATTP, the people will not be very much, like there won't be like four or
Yeah,
five
correct,
people.
correct, correct. The
Yeah, we
count
can't
would
form
be
up a
less.
batch.
Yes,
So
yes,
that's
yes.
a
It's
very
a
big
niche,
challenge.
niche. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, correct. I mean, so but if, I'll just keep a note of your query. Like I'll try to find a good consultant for you, but there would be one-on-one training only. Okay, there won't be any batch. So and that module is not so big also. So yeah, that you need to get a clear picture like how it works and all. So I'll just try to find a good consultant for you who can justify your requirements.
Okay, and S4 HANA sourcing and procurement definitely coming week, or it will be slightly delayed.
No, next week we have a plan. So yeah,
Okay, okay,
next week we are
okay,
going to start. Yeah, sure.
okay, okay. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So now I'll be coordinating with you for that. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. So fine then, guys. So I guess most of the queries is been already answered. So still you have any doubts or something, you can reach out Sana, you can reach out to me. And I request everyone to just attend tomorrow's session. Tomorrow we are going to see hands-on actually how the actual configurations we are going to do in SAP Ariba systems, so that you'll get a clear picture. You can make the decisions. Those who are yet to enroll for the course. Yeah, guys. Thank you so much. And Manoj sir, I really appreciate your patience and your knowledge sharing. I really appreciate. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Raj. Yeah.
Most welcome, sir. Yeah. So we'll conclude the session for the day. We'll meet up tomorrow at the same time. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you all.